Welcome friends, I'm Luxinamark, and as a lot of pilots are finding Vendetta Online again for the first time in years, there's a lot of rust to be shaken off. This tutorial should provide visual aid in learning how the basic mechanics of flying in an arcadey space shooter work. We will be demonstrating these simple basics against a collector NPC to help highlight key fundamentals, before showing off how combining these core flight elements will help any pilot overcome most combat in Vendetta Online. If you are playing on mobile, you should set up droid buttons or have a physical controller. A link in the description below will be provided to help instruct you on how to set up plugins if necessary. On PC, it is recommended you swap your W and R keys and your S and F keys. Regardless of platform, you must become comfortable with your controls if you wish to succeed, but learning proper flight mechanics will help you along the way. We will start by using a Centurion class ship in this tutorial paired with a light power cell and ion small port blaster. All items you can obtain at most stations very early in the game. Later on we use a neutron blaster, but otherwise it's the same deal. Here we have a collector NPC. First, target your enemy. There are lots of videos and streams of pilots who fail this very first step. You don't usually see them sticking around. Targeting is necessary in Vendetta Online to enable your aiming reticle and assist in firing your weapon. You can see your reticle here. You should try to aim around this area when firing at most enemies with standard weapons. Fly close to your target, at least until you are within 500 meters. The more distance between you and your target, the more reaction time you give your opponent, so you want to fly close when dealing damage. Most energy weapons also tend to top out at around 600 meters of range, depending on their projectile speed variable. All weapons in Vendetta Online can be classified as a projectile weapon in first-person shooter terms, as there are no hit-scan capable weapons in Vendetta Online. Once within range, begin firing on your opponent. If they do not react in time, you can get off several damaging hits, but often NPCs and living pilots will be able to strafe out of the way of incoming fire. This NPC will strafe away from incoming projectiles while turning to face us, and he'll begin firing his weapons. Now that your opponent is firing back at you, you must change your flight pattern. Focus on strafing in a diamond pattern and turning, and adding variability to your flight pattern to throw off your opponent's aim. You should also try to manage your distance. In a way, you want to get close to your opponent when you're ready to fire, and then back off before they can counter in a form of jousting maneuver, as I like to call it. Distance management and good strafing technique are the most important elements to both aiming and evasion in Vendetta Online. You mostly want to let your strafing handle the aim at your opponents, while turning is only used to keep your target in front of your blasters. Using just these elements, we will now take on a Hive assault ship, which can be thought of as the generic fighter unit of the Hive. Don't just watch the fight, try to observe the mechanics I mentioned at work. Even if there's multiple targets to dodge, assess which should be your priority, aim at that target, and merely shorten your firing time so you can maximize your evasion until your enemies are whittled down to a number you can handle. As you progress through Vendetta Online, you should learn more nuanced mechanics of flight and combat, but these basics apply to both PvE and PvP content and is must-know knowledge if you wish to progress in the game. Mastering these elements will make a fearsome fighter out of any pilot, so don't be discouraged and take your time practicing these mechanics until it's become ingrained into your muscle memory. That just about wraps up this tutorial. If you'd like to see a tutorial for something else in Vendetta Online, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed watching, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe for more news, tutorials, and event coverage in Vendetta Online. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.